Morning on my YouTubers, on my blue collar workers. Hope everybody's having a good day out there. Let's get this money. Let's go to work. So I've been seeing a lot of comments. I appreciate all the comments. I try to respond to everybody that make a comment on one of my posts. It's like that union lifestyle is that brotherhood. So I kind of feel the same way with y'all. Y'all make a comment, good or bad. I'm gonna try to say something back. I ain't trying to fight with nobody. I just trying to see everybody win. So I've seen a lot of people been asking questions. Like, dang, really, I should be getting paid as an organizer, because I've been seeing a lot of people that say they want to get into the trade. A lot of people saying that they're going to school, going to try to see if they can get in. So I should get something for that. I should be an organizer. I'll probably bring more people to the union than the union organizers are. But that's fine. I don't need nothing extra for it. My whole goal is just kind of try to give everybody options. Like, this might not be for everybody, but I mean, it's definitely, if you question career choices or question what you should do, it's definitely an option that could be explored. But yeah, anyway, a lot of people be asking me, like, how do you get into the trade? How do you get into the union? So I'm gonna kind of break it down a little bit. So every union is gonna be a little bit different. What they got it's called local unions. So for instance, I'm a pipe fitter, so we fall under the UA, United Association. That's kind of like that's like a bigger whole of organization of the union. It's not the only union. It's just a part of multiple different unions. It covers pipe fitters, steam fitters, plumbers, I believe tinners, and I don't know. There's other unions. Like I said, I'm a pipe fitter, so I don't really know what everybody else does. But then it goes down to local union. So local union is like it's like a chapter. It's like a local area. So like, I'm Minneapolis 539. That encompasses Minneapolis. We also have St. Paul's 455. So the number is just kind of describes whatever local union it is. So I'm local Minneapolis pipe fitter. So if you're trying to get into the trade, depending on where you are, I would look up, like, go Google search or whatever, local pipe fitters union, local electricians union, whatever, and it'll pop up on there, a local union. Usually it'll have, I mean, I'm assuming at this day and age, I'm assuming all locals probably have a website. I know we have a website. If you go on the website, you'll be able to see information. I know on ours we have a bunch of stuff talking about getting into the trade, a bunch of information on what we do. Also has the dates on when applications need to be in. For us, we do applications once a year. It's in January. There's like a week in January you got to come in. Now, in order to get in, you have to have your driver's license, you have to be a U.S. citizen, you have to have your GED or diploma, those three things. And your GED or diploma, you have to have like an actual copy of it. It can't be just like something made up. Like, you got to bring that in there with you. So that'd be where to start. Check on the websites. And it also should have on there, I know on ours, I believe it has pay scales, so you can see how much they're going to make, because every local is going to be a little bit different. I know it kind of just depends. So the local unions are the ones that do negotiations with the contractors in that area. So like Minneapolis, we have I don't know, Minnesota in general, we have a pretty good union representation here. So our local union, our union members, they'll go and negotiate with the contractors for our pay and for our health care and all of our benefits. So every year, or I think it's every 3 years, is contract negotiations. I think we got one coming up this year, matter of fact. So everybody kind of hope we get a little bit more raise. Like, we already doing good, but yeah, every local gonna be a little bit different. Every state gonna be different. The pay is gonna be different. I know there are some people from California talking about getting in. California, I think California and East Coast, they probably got the highest pay on the check. What we have in Minnesota, we have one of the best. We have what's called paramedic benefits. So, like, say if we start anytime before 7 o'clock in the morning, if they want us to come in before 7 o'clock in the morning, it's automatic double time for any time. So if we come in at 6, we get an hour double time. Paramedic benefits means that not only do we get double time on our check, but also all of our benefits are double time. So Like say for us, our vacation pay is $5 an hour. If you're working double time, it's $10 an hour for that period of time that you're working. Same thing if you work overtime is anything after 3 until 5 is time and a half. Your benefits also do time and a half. Anything after 5 o'clock is double time. So that's the paramedic benefits. I think we're one of the few locals that have that, and it's great. It comes in handy because when you come to like your health care, like I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know a ton about health care. I don't go to the doctor, so they got to drag me in there. I just don't like the doctor. I'm not gonna do it. So I don't really know as much about the health care, but I know that you get like credits or something like that. So the more credits you have, the longer you can stay covered under your health insurance, even if you're laid off. Then I've also seen a lot of people have asked questions about, do I work all year round? So in Minnesota, we do work year round. Pipe fitting in general, there's a lot of work. Like right now, actually, there's so much work, we don't have anybody on the bench. So there's pretty much, we're in a good situation right now. Matter of fact, I think they just sent a couple travelers up here, just showed up on my job from Florida. So what happens is, if you have enough work and you don't have nobody on the bench that's looking for a job, they'll have travelers come from other states. So you could be a local union pipe fitter from another state, but you're with the UA, so that state might not have no work. They might get a call like, hey, do you want to go up here to Minnesota, go work on this job? A lot of people chase them because you can get per diem, which is it's extra money, like per day. Usually they pay it, and it's non-taxable. So a lot of people chase that per diem. A lot of people go on the road, go traveling, they be making good money. They chase some jobs that's working overtime, double time, and then they get that per diem. So that's one thing. But yeah, no, we work all year round. So what happens, and this is another thing somebody else had asked me questions about, or they didn't ask a question, but they said they were wasn't sure if they wanted to get into HVAC or if they want to get in a union. So here's the difference with that. Once you're in a union, the union is the one that employs you. So like with 539, when you're an apprentice, after first year and after third year, they'll automatically switch you contractors if you haven't been laid off, because they don't want you to get the feeling like you belong to that contractor. Like, no, you don't belong to nobody. You're your own man. You're a union member. So if something happens, like say every day we go to work, we're working ourselves out of a job. Like when the job's complete, there ain't no more work, obviously. So, or if something happens, they start downsizing, they start cutting people, you get laid off. So when you're laid off, you can apply for unemployment benefits, which, I don't know, I think I was getting unemployment last year on the week I was going to school. It was like $760 a week. You don't get your benefits in that, but it's just something to keep you going while you're laid off. So when you get laid off from someplace, you go down to the hall, you put your name on a list. Once your name's on the list, they'll have a list of other contractors. I think we have, we have over 1,000 contractors, I believe. I might be wrong on the number, but we have a lot of different contractors that they work with us. We negotiate with them. So say, right now I'm working for Corval. Say if I get laid off, I'll go down to the hall, I'll put my name on the list. They'll look on the list and they'll see what jobs are available. So then they'll go by what skills you have. So if you're a certified welder, if you're a journeyman or an apprentice, if you're, say if you got specialty welding, or say if you're a foreman, you got foreman experience, if they have a call for any kind of job that needs them experience, they go through the list and see who's on the list. Bam, start putting people to work. So you're not going to just work for one contractor. You're not going to be at just one job site. You're going to be all over the place. Sometimes you get on a long job, like this job I'm on right now, Mystic Lake. This is a 4-year project. I've been out here for, I don't know, almost a year now. Maybe not quite a year, but I've been out here for 7-8 months. There's a couple guys that have been here for a year. There's still a lot of work left. So that's a good thing, because it's that you don't have to go through the thing of meeting new people, whatever. You can kind of get used to working with who you're working with. You can learn from them. And it's just that job security feeling, like you know where you're going every day. There's other times you might get a call, a short call, they call it, where you might go somewhere for a week or two, or you might go do a shutdown for a couple weeks and work a bunch of overtime, and then that job ends. So that's the difference between being a union job, whereas if you go to be a non-union HVAC guy or whatever, depending on if you're residential, I don't know. I haven't come in contact with no construction non-union pipe fitters up here, so I don't know really what they do. I know there's like residential, like people that come in your house and fix your AC. We also have union HVAC guys that go do that too, but that's different. You're gonna be working just for that one employer that you work for, and if they decide that they don't want you no more and they let you go, there ain't nothing you can do about it. You gotta go and start hitting the streets, putting in applications, trying to get someone else to hire you. So with the union, you don't ever have to do that again. With the union, you're always gonna have a job lined up. Maybe if work's slow, there's not a lot of jobs. They might not have no jobs. You might be on the list for a while, but since I've been up here, or since I've been in this trade, I've only been laid off one time, and I was asking for it. I was trying to get laid off. I didn't like the contractor I was with, but most of the places I work so far, it's been cool, man. Like, man, I'm learning so much. It's crazy. Like, just the thing, like, I'm only a third-year apprentice, so really I only know enough to be dangerous. That's kind of what they say. Once you're third year, you start knowing enough to be dangerous. But like the guy I'm working with now, he kind of lets me run with it a little bit. So we've been piping a lot of stuff, and I've been had a lot of say in the layout and how things are going, and it's running pretty smooth, man. I feel good about it. I feel like you know, they respect somebody that has a good work ethic and somebody that thinks about things. So one of the best things somebody told me when I first started, they had worked for another company, and their journeyman was kind of hard on them, and they told them two things. They told them an apprentice should never be walking around without something in their hands. You should always have a tool or something in your hands. It seems a little bit extreme. Sometimes there's gonna be times you ain't doing that, but it's a good thing keeping the back of your head. It makes you look good. And the second thing was, as an apprentice, you should always be thinking about what your journeyman's about to need before he got to ask for it. And that's definitely a good one. Or same thing if you're working with your foreman, like if you can always be trying to think, and it's not just about just being a sucker and just running and getting stuff for him. It's about thinking about, if you was in that position, if you was a journeyman, if you was a foreman, what would you need? Like, just having that in the back of your mind, it helps you to try to get in that thought process, and you start thinking outside the box, thinking about what you would do if you was that guy. What would you want if you was that guy? It's not about just, I'm gonna be a gopher and just go get this guy stuff. It ain't about that at all. I mean, it is. Like, there's some people that they want to use apprentices like that, but for me, I thought of it as, I'm trying to think what I would want if I was him. So then if he ain't got to ask me, guess what? He ain't gonna never be mad yelling like, why ain't you got this? So whatever, it works out. But that's just some things to keep in mind. If anybody does get an apprenticeship, a salute. Just stick with it, man. There's gonna be hard times and good times, just like every other job, but it's gonna pay off in the end. And just always keep thinking. Like, it's kind of weird for me now because it's been a while since I mean, obviously I work a non-union job on the weekend, so that's a whole different vibe. But just the thought process when you're a union construction worker and you're an apprentice, the whole vibe is different because it's all about learning and it's all about trying to advance yourself. So your thought process is different, thinking about what I can do in this situation, because at some point you're going to be a journeyman. You're going to be out there. They ain't going to be telling you what to do no more. They're going to give you a set of prints, and they're going to give you a pile of pipe, and they're going to say, here. And you got to know how to do it. You ain't going to have, like, you can go to your foreman and get a little bit of direction, but if you always got to be the one getting direction, you ain't going to be a highly sought after worker. So it's always good to think about, like, at some point in time, you're going to have to do everything on your own. So best chance while you're an apprentice, try to learn as much as you can so that you'll be confident when that time comes. I'm only in third year right now, and I feel like I'm doing a lot on my own. So the progression, plus my welding's getting good. Like, man, them welds are looking tight. I really like the position welds that I can reach. Like, that's the only thing is some of the position welds, when you get into a situation where you can't get comfortable, them are a little bit tough, and I don't never like leaving an ugly weld there, but sometimes it is what it is. But like the bench welds, man, I can make them look like butter. They're coming out real good. But some of the position welds, I figured out the trick for my bottoms, get my bottoms nice and smooth. That was the part I was struggling with a little bit. But yeah, man, I don't know. That's the only thing. I was just trying to respond to some of the things that people have been asking a lot of questions, and I definitely appreciate it. I respect all the questions. Ask all the questions you want. If I can help somebody, I'm gonna help somebody. If I can give you some advice, I'm gonna give you some advice, and I'm gonna tell you straight up, if I give you some advice, that doesn't mean it's the only way. Like, ain't nothing I say is the only way. I'm just trying to give out options for people, so something to think about. End of the day, everybody gonna have to make their own. We all our own people. We all gonna make our own decisions. I'm just trying to give out some options, give everybody a chance, you know. From what you do with that is what you do with that. So anyway, I appreciate everybody from liking, subscribing, asking questions. Keep it coming. Any questions I can answer, I'll answer. Like and subscribe as much as you can. Let's blow it up. Let's get some more people in the trades. Hope everybody have a good day.